recording.
See, we already said we thought we were recording. And I love the fact that
And
Wyatt
we have a dog here, and we have a
is-
dog over there. My name is Denise Charlot. I am a fashion designer, and I'm here with my really good friend who's for a visit. I'm so happy she's here. Her name is Lea Brovedani, and she's a lot of things. So I'm going to let her tell you what she is.
So when I left here, like I've worked as a professional speaker, speaking at conferences and AGMs and everything else, and wrote a couple of books on trust. And since COVID, I made this big change because what I saw were so many people who lost family members and there was no one to comfort them. And so I was doing a meditation one day and I thought, you know, when we are brought into the world, there's a birth doula who helps us enter and doesn't actually bring it, they're not the people who deliver the baby, but they make sure that everything to do with it is taken care of. And I kind of wondered, well, if there's a birth doula, I wonder if there's a death doula. And I had never heard of such a thing. Well, there is. So there's a thing called an end-of-life doula. And for whatever reason, I feel like that's what I'm supposed to be doing. So I did well over a year of certifications, and I took a course through the Conscious Dying Institute based in Colorado. And I'm an end-of-life doula. So I help people have the best possible life they can have until they are no longer on this planet and make their passing as peaceful as possible. And I help the people who are left, because that's something too.
Yes.
And Denise, I know you went through it with your dad who died during COVID.
Yes, he did. And before that, I was the caregiver for my 97-year-old grandmother.
Yeah.
And I wish I had you. I had actually witnessed, oh my goodness, I guess this isn't something to brag about, but I've witnessed 5 hospices.
Yeah. And people that you loved. Yeah.
And it is, and I don't have the words right now because I didn't plan to have this conversation, but it is a privilege. It is a privilege
it really is.
to be there when people pass. And it's lovely that you are there to help them go the way that they would like to.
Yeah. And so before everybody's thinking, oh God, well, I'm not ready to die. Well, hopefully don't do it until you're ready to die. Plan it now.
I have to say one thing. We're all dying. We all are going to die.
And
so there's
eventually,
nothing
except
wrong.
you and I, we're going to, but I don't want to live forever.
I don't either. But it's good to know what you want and to make plans and to communicate.
Yeah. And it's the 5 pillars. So it's, you know, how do you want to feel? So what do you want to be thinking? Like, what are the thoughts that you have about your passing? And so mental, spiritual, and I'm not talking about religion. I'm talking about what spiritual passages do you want? You know, everything from having a priest there to having a shaman chant, like whatever that is for you. And then physically, there's some people that say, what's the Woody Allen thing? I'm not afraid of dying. I just don't want to be there when it happens. And some people feel that way. They just want to be totally out of it. And so I would not administer the shots, but if that was your wish, I'd make sure that whoever is there, the medical team can make sure that your wishes are taken care of. And then practical. Where do you want to be? If you want to be at home, do you have the bed? Do you have all of that? And at the end of your life, when it's finally passed, do you want to be buried? Do you want to be cremated? There's water cremations. There's green burials now. Like there's so many
water
choices.
cremations?
Yeah.
What's that?
It's it's a process where it's so first of all, too much information for some of you, but in order to cremate a body, it's the same as traveling 500 miles in a car. That's how much
Okay, wow.
energy, like
Wow.
that's how much fuel it takes to cremate a body. So water cremation is a new process where they actually break down the body, and then they have the same thing that you would have with a fire cremation, but it takes less energy. It's less harmful for the environment. You're not throwing all kinds of toxins into the air. So it's a gentler process. There's all kinds of things that I had no idea about until I did this course.
I'll tell you, I don't know whether you know this, but for the last 6 months, I have been loving shrooms and mushrooms of all kinds because they're just these really unique
And beautiful, all the different colors.
amazing
Yeah.
things. And I read that somewhere you can be, well, not quite buried per se, but your body could be covered with fungi, and
You'd be a mushroom.
yeah, I'd be
Yay.
one great big mushroom.
And there's
So that's
things,
something that I might
Yeah.
actually seriously consider because you're giving back.
my husband wants, there's a reef off of the coast of BC in Vancouver, and you can actually have some of your remains put inside the reef so you become coral. And we're scuba divers, so like that really appeals to him.
Well, that would
So
be
there's so many cool things
Yeah.
that, and for
Okay.
anyone from the South, I think it's in Alabama, you can
Okay.
have some of your ashes put in cartridges so that you can be fired off.
No, don't tell me. Okay, all right.
I know. So
I had no idea where you were going.
Yeah,
Okay.
so there's all kinds of choices. Anyways, I don't mean to make light of it, but honestly, all of us are going to die. I want to make sure that everybody has the comfort and care and love surrounding them that everyone deserves to have.
And I know you don't want to make light of it, but I find going through life with a sense of humor
Yeah.
is extremely helpful.
Yeah. So
And
one of
that's
the
one
things I
thing-
did think of
Oh.
being cremated because it would be the second opportunity for me to have a rockin' hot body.
Ooh, baby. Okay.
So
This is
so you're right.
fun.
Yeah.
This is nice that you're here. Yeah. Okay. The other reason she's here is, I guess this was right before COVID went down.
Yeah.
March of 2020.
Yeah.
Her daughter
March
was
4th.
getting married in India.
Yeah. It was a beautiful
yeah.
wedding.
And she wanted something that would work for the weather.
Yeah.
But to also work for her. So
Yeah.
you can tell that story too.
Okay, so I have to tell you that, so any of you who have had a child getting married or a really important wedding know that just before you plan for the wedding, it's more women who do this, right? I lost weight. So I was the thinnest I've been in I don't know how many years.
Not that there's anything wrong with you right now.
No, well, thank you.
Okay. All right, let's just
Okay.
clarify
So
that.
this used to
Okay.
close, and you can see it doesn't right now, but I can still wear it. And Denise had made this beautiful white linen pantsuit, and it was just a sleeveless top with pearl buttons and
Think Laura Petrie from Dick Van Dyke.
yes,
Yeah, it was really sassy and really cute.
and it had little pearl buttons,
Mhm.
a little pleat, not a pleat, a little
Why don't I know the
V-neck,
name?
yeah, I can't think of it, with two
It had
pearls.
a slit.
Yeah,
Yeah, had a
at
slit.
the ankle, and then it was absolutely gorgeous. Anyway, so I wore that. I was going to wear it today, but I put it on, and it squished me so much that I think my boobs were up to my neck. So I went, won't wear that, and then I put the jacket on and went, haven't tried this on for a
Except
while.
that's perfect because the way that we have it finished,
Yeah.
I don't know if you can see, but there's all these pearl button. No, not pearl buttons, just pearls. They're
Yeah.
beautiful green, iridescent buttons.
And they're gorgeous. So it's all the way around.
So they're trimmed all over the jacket. So you don't really want to close this. You actually want to wear it open. Just like the one that I'm wearing, this is meant to be worn open. This is a duster. Now, I did Now, I did a very short video explaining just what a duster is. It's a long jacket and it doesn't close. Well, she doesn't have a duster because it's not full length, but it's a lovely jacket.
Can you see?
And it doesn't close. This was fabric that we found when we were on 4th Street. We were looking and hunting for fabric, and you had something in your mind, and it was a challenge. Like sometimes that's the hardest part.
Yeah, and it had to be something that held its shape too. So I have to tell you that this is custom made for me. That is what Denise does. She does these beautiful custom design coats for men and women. And so hopefully, you know, my husband, if you're listening, do this and go la la la, because I don't want you to spoil it. But for his, you know, I'm going to get one of your coats made for men for Rick, because they're absolutely gorgeous.
I'll
They're
have
rock
to know
star.
something because I'll have to measure them.
Well, yeah. So
And I might have to have
okay, so
one or
it's
two
not
fittings.
such a spoil.
So we might have to know a little bit.
Yeah, okay. But you make coats for rock stars, and so tell them about that.
Oh, it's funny. It's been so long that okay, pre-COVID, I made coats for rock stars, and this is one of the reasons why we are doing this. I need to get myself back out there, and I like to be with friends, so I figured this is the best way for me to get myself back out there, to have my lovely friends over who I have made beautiful custom-made things for, and then we chat about them, because when I do a custom clothing project, it is not about me. It's about my client. I guess that's all that I have to say.
Yeah.
And I love making people look good. I love making people feel good. And so much of it is about fit and color.
And you know, like the things that you can't see right now
are there's a lot of things.
Oh my God, like the French
seams. I know.
Like it is absolutely. I sew, but not like this. And so I see the work that she's done, even the hems and
this is a bias hem. There's fabric that I found. It was a sheer illusion, and so I cut it on the bias, and then I stitched it to the hem, and then I rolled it, and then I had to hand stitch all this because that was the only way to make this look right, was to hand stitch. And I won't lie to you, this was a time-intensive jacket.
Yeah.
Especially with all these pearls, because you see there's a pearl like every 2 inches, there's a larger pearl, and then there are 3 tiny pearls.
A little cluster of pearls.
Yes, and that takes time.
Yeah. So, but honestly, I wanted something.
Too.
Yes, I wore the pearls that they're going with this. I don't know what's going on with my hair either right now. I just got my hair cut yesterday, so it's kind of going wonky, isn't it?
I like your hair.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. There.
So part of it was I wanted something that was unique and suited me, and that I wasn't going to walk in. Okay, this is kind of snotty, but I didn't want something that everybody else was wearing. So this is a one of a kind. It's made specifically for me. And I have to say that if you're going to have a problem with a friend, it's going to be in a project like this. We just get along so well. We can laugh about things, and I just loved working with you.
I once made a wedding gown for one of my dearest friends, and when she got engaged, the very first thing that I told her, Nettie, I'm not making your wedding gown. I'm not making your wedding gown, because I knew like what could happen. Like things could blow up.
Yeah.
Big. It turns out that she kind of manipulated me a little bit, but that's okay, because she's still one of my most favorite people on the planet, just like you are. And it all worked out. But yeah.
Yeah, and one of the things that I like is that Denise will tell you honestly, no, yeah, I know that's what you have in mind, but it's not going to look good on you. And that material that you picked out, it's not gonna drape right. It's not gonna be right for the coat you want. So she's good at giving suggestions, and she's good at giving you an honest opinion as well. Yeah.
Thank you. Well, I'm
do.
so glad that you're here. We have a guest room, so she's been here for what, 2 or 3 nights,
Yeah.
and then she's going back tomorrow morning, back to Savannah, Georgia.
Back to Savannah, Georgia. Yeah.
Which I can't wait to go visit.
Yeah.
Oh, one more thing, about this piece. This is what I liked about Lee. Lee didn't want something that she could never wear again.
Yeah.
Okay? So you see her wearing this fun, sassy piece with jeans, with boots, and with a white t-shirt. And you could wear this to dinner. You could wear, you could dress this up. You could dress this down. And that's personally how I like to dress.
And
It's
if
just easier.
I get back down to the pre-wedding weight, I'll wear it with the linen Laura Petrie suit.
People might find this surprising, but I think it's more important to have less in your wardrobe, except things that you love and like. Because I don't really have that many clothes. I have a lot of basic pieces that, which I wear like on my dusters, on and my jackets over. And I probably have right now probably 5 pieces that I wear on a regular basis, and that's not a lot of clothes. And I'm also not worried about people seeing me wear the same thing twice or 3 times, because people don't necessarily remember what you were wearing. They just know that you look good.
Yeah. I need to get rid of some clothes in my closet.
Okay,
Okay.
well, we've been chatting a while.
Yeah.
Okay, the reason I put this down, because sometimes, just out of a nervous tick, I sometimes accidentally turn off the video. All right, Lea Brovedani.
Brovedani.
Brovedani. Oh, Brovedani.
Like, we've
We're
only been
Italian.
friends for like 10 years.
Brovedani.
Brovedani, it is Italian.
Brovedani.
So you say Brovedani.
Brovedani.
Yeah.
Lea Brovedani. And your website is?
So the one for the doula is souljourneydoula.com. Or you can just, because I still have my website up on Trust, so if you just go to thetrustarchitect.biz or leabrovedani.com, so it's leabrovedani.com, you'd find me.
Brovedani.
Yeah.
Brovedani. Okay. Well, I'm just
And Denise Shardlow.
Denise Shardlow, a very plain sounding
It's not. Okay.
English name. All right. Ta-ta, loves.
Bye, everybody.
Okay. This is fun. Okay. Bye-bye. Is it turning off?